What's up, everybody? Back for another video, drinking some water. Hope you're all staying healthy and trying to stay sane, sane as can be in these crazy times. But now today I wanted to talk about approval seeking behaviors, looking to people for approval and being afraid of letting people down. I think to an extent we all deal with this. Some people have a more rebellious streak and they're like, I don't care what anyone's got to say, I just do me. But deep down we all kind of care about at least what a couple people think in our lives. It could be our friends, it could be mentors, parents, bosses. It could be just trying to live up to certain ideals, something in your head. And, we all have a tendency we could beat ourselves up, or we could maybe not deal with the pain and circumvent it with drinking, or, kind of tune out with video games or watching movies, not really dealing with your own stuff. But, yeah, all I'm going to say is like a couple points why you shouldn't really care that much what other people think. So, let's be honest, like you've probably been through a ton of changes in your life. Your perspective changes over time. Relationships come and go. You enter into new dynamics, and these dynamics kind of they shape your perspective. You have to adapt. You got to keep growing, keep learning. Everyone in the world is doing the same thing. Everyone in the world is human. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. Some of us really struggle. Most of us are stuck in cycles. You do the same thing, or you're in a cycle of, I'm constantly have to do something else. I constantly have to do something new. So we're all kind of meeting life with kind of a different, different combination of things, And, I think everyone does have something within them that's admirable. I think we all have a skill set. It could be hidden. Maybe you haven't worked on it yet. Maybe, you could have a knack for speaking to people, making people feel better about themselves. You could have, be really good at understanding, fixing things, solving problems. These are all admirable traits. And we all have something within us that's admirable. For me, I've always admired more adventurous people. I've always admired people that are very disciplined with themselves, that they set a goal, they overcome the doubts. Because for me, those were the toughest things to have. I've always been a very ordered person. Very routine, somewhat happy in the routine, but there's always been that part of me that wants to step out of that, make some changes. And I think that's all good. It's all good stuff. But getting back into the approval aspect, I noticed that with myself, where I would see people that had the traits that I desired in myself, and I wanted to just be around those people. I wanted to talk with them. I wanted to get their perspective. I wanted to get closer to those kind of people. And, sometimes it was, in certain cases, I made friends with people. In certain cases, I just met up with people a few times, and I would always kind of just want to get that perspective they have. Like, I'm like, how do you do this? Or like, what's your reasoning? How do you, see things? And how does that create this outcome? But then I'd like to dial it back, because I realize that we all have things that we struggle with as well. Even the people I admired, there were certain things that I began to recognize that they struggled with that I didn't really struggle with. And that really shifted my perspective, because sometimes I think we have this tendency, we put the people that have what we want, or the goals, or the people that we want to have in our lives, or um, we put these things on a pedestal, you know? It's like, if this was in my life, I can finally have that true happiness, or I can finally feel more complete. You know, we're all looking for that greater sense of wholeness in life. And I think that's where, if you're struggling with loneliness or feeling of emptiness, or just kind of a stale perspective on life, you're looking for that wholeness in life. You're looking for the other side of things. And I think that we often confuse it with something outside of ourselves. Um, we confuse it with other people, and it ties a bit to our ideals. We think that if we have certain things into place, then we can finally be happy. We can finally feel fulfilled, um, be at peace. But ultimately, these things, they come from within, you know? And I think in this age of self-help and, all the perspectives on things in life, I think we have to dial back into ourselves, not in a selfish way, but more in a observant way. See how we're reasoning with ourselves. See the things that we struggle to let go of, and the, you could say, roadblocks that are holding us back from where we could be in life, or where we want to go. Um, Ultimately, it is really important, take people off the pedestal of life. Don't put that pressure on themselves, or on them, or on yourself. you know um, for me, the way I've reformed this whole idealization in life, and putting people on a pedestal, or uh, even sometimes overestimating myself, is to kind of see that ideals are meant for God. Ideals are meant, in my personal experience, are meant to be projected onto God. You know, it's a gift that I have this opportunity. I'm meant to be flawed. I'm meant to fail and try again. Um, and the people that I idealize, the situations, the jobs, the um, status that I idealize, does not necessarily bring me closer to God. I need to humble myself in many cases. And that's where I find real happiness, when I can humble myself, when I can let go of the tension that I hold in life. Because a lot of times, the world is telling us a lot of things that are, you need this, you need that, you need to become this, you need to show this, you need to show value, you need to show, you need to be funny, you need to be charismatic. The list goes on. But ultimately, I think the true need that we all have in life is to work with ourselves, as we are, accepting as we are, and acknowledging what is holding us back, what is no longer serving us, and what small steps can be done. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not like we can completely transform. And you wouldn't want to completely transform the core of yourself. There's something beautiful there. You should want to live into that and find your path. But there's always room for change. And change can be a good thing. And it's meant to bring us into who we truly are. And sometimes, in shedding what's not us, we experience pain. But it's, for me at this point, I see it as a trust thing. I need to trust in life, trust in what's out of my control, and really get the reins in on what is in my control, and just work from that point. It's not about how everyone else sees you. It's not about material things. I think peace is very much something that we find when we work with ourselves. So, on that note, I'm going to close this out. I wish you all the best, and good luck. You got this. There's a lot of great stuff within you, whoever you are, all of us, we all have something good within us, and it's just a matter of working on ourselves, or working with ourselves more like, to begin to see that better. God bless.